It is Saturday, April 20th as I make this video, and as you can see, the fig tree is healthy and has grown a lot bigger in its new branch that sprouted from the root recently, but the old tree is completely dead. Whether there will be new growth on the original tree in the southern hemisphere spring in a few months' time remains to be seen. Meanwhile, the fig tree nation of Israel is not faring much better. The IDF has shown some success in taking out most of the Hamas forces in Gaza, but the hostages are still in captivity, and after the IDF took out the Iranian commander who was behind October 7th, the Iranians attacked Israel with 400 missiles and drones, of which only a handful actually made it out of Iran and all the way to their targets, most either failing to launch, crashing in Iran or being shot down on the way to or over Israel. One missile even got blown up in space. So God is protecting the fig tree nation, and yet their war is not yet over, and as we know, it will eventually morph into a wider conflict, dragging in the real head of the snake Russia, which is using Iran as a proxy in the same way that Iran is using the 3HS of Hamas, Hizbollah and the Houthis as proxies. Iran has been exposed, but Russia is still keeping its true nature hidden for now, although a telltale coincidence is that Putin's birthday is October 7th, in the same way that Iran's Supreme Leader Khamenei's birthday is April 19th, the day of Israel's counterattack against Iran's April 13th attack. It's interesting how these nations send messages to each other by choosing certain dates to carry out their attacks. Now that the April 8th solar eclipse has come and gone, many are now saying that the rapture may be on May 18th or 19, 40 or 41 days after the eclipse, following the pattern of the 40 days of warning given by God to Nineveh in the time of Jonah, when an eclipse was also involved. Some are adding an extra day, as nothing happens until after the 40 days. Jesus even said in Matthew 12 that an evil and adulterous generation seeks a sign, but the only sign it will be given is the sign of Jonah. So many are taking that as a sign that the solar eclipse is the final sign before the rapture. The connection between the eclipse and the story of Jonah is that some scholars say that there was an eclipse in 763 BC which occurred at the same time that Jonah was preaching to the people of Nineveh, and that explains why they repented. It's also interesting that there was something like an eclipse that occurred when Jesus died on the cross, which also connects this to the sign of Jonah, because Jesus linked the sign of Jonah with his own death and resurrection, in that he would be 3 days in the tomb, just as Jonah was 3 days in the belly of the fish. So will the rapture actually happen on May 18th, 4 weeks or Shabbats from today? I don't know, and as I always say, any talk of rapture dates is not a prophecy or prediction, it is only speculation, and may not come to pass. Even so, if you find this interesting, please like and subscribe for future updates. And as I always say, if the Lord doesn't tarry, see you on the other side.